Earlier today, U.S. President Donald Trump held a telephone conversation with Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. This follows the failure of the Istanbul ceasefire negotiations, after which Trump demanded direct contact with Moscow. Prior to the call, the American leader called Kyiv to discuss the topics he intends to raise with Putin. There are no signs of an agreement in Ukraine. Bombing, rocket, and drone raids, heavy fighting on the front. Ukrainian soldiers have no doubt. On the other side, no one is serious about a ceasefire. In the third year of the war, everyone should understand that the Russian President Vladimir Putin will not stop unless pressure is applied and Ukraine gets the support of the whole world. The first meeting between the Ukrainian and Russian delegations in 3 years was just a show. Apart from the exchange of prisoners of war, nothing was agreed on that would give hope for a halt to the fighting.
The pressure on the Russian Federation must continue. We should not really relax at this point. And there are many issues that can be resolved if only the leaders can meet.
It seems that Putin is not interested in peace. The situation on the front seems to be more favorable to the Kremlin today. There are also signals from Moscow that the Russians are ready to wage war for as long as it takes. That's why the Ukrainian president is doing everything today to convince the Americans. At the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV, he met with a number of European politicians, but also an American delegation headed by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Washington has so far made attempts to resolve the conflict diplomatically. However, diplomacy has reached a wall, hence the possible turn in U.S. policy toward the Kremlin.
There are so many different things that are obstacles that it's hard to pinpoint one in particular. Look, I think one open question is Vladimir Putin serious about negotiating peace, right? He has made some concessions. He has taken some serious steps in these conversations, but we feel like, we're at a point where we're hitting an impasse, and that's why the president is talking to him on the phone.
Trump decided to talk directly with Putin after the Istanbul negotiations fiasco. However, arranging the meeting itself is not easy, hence the phone call first, then a decision on what to do next. For now, anything is possible, including a package of sanctions on the Kremlin.
I think everything's on the table, yes, and I won't get ahead of the president in any commitments or decisions, but certainly it's something he's been looking at and discussing.
The Kremlin is sending contradictory signals that cannot be read as anything other than information chaos. In recent hours, Ukrainian intelligence warned of a possible Russian ballistic missile attack in what would be a demonstration of force and an attempt to intimidate Ukraine and NATO member states.